The Geopolitics and Empire podcast is joined by returning guest, scientist, social theorist, and researcher at the Ontario Civil Liberties Association, the controversial, dare we say, Dr. Denis Rancourt. Denis, how are things in the Canadian Fourth Reich?
I didn't know I was controversial. I guess it depends who you talk to, right? Who I'm controversial with. But anyway, it's a pleasure to be here again for the second time, I think, on your show. And I'm ready to go at it. Everything about what's happening in Canada all the way into geopolitics, for sure.
All right. We first spoke almost a year ago, I think, in February of 2021. We discussed what I'll call the crown ailment and the bigger context and picture of what's really going on. And we based that discussion on your excellent 2019 report on geoeconomics, geopolitics, and predatory globalization, which amazingly was prescient and foresaw back in 2019 many of the political and economic aspects of what began to occur in 2020 after a pandemic was declared. You've got a new report or study published a few months ago on what you determine is the true nature of the public health disaster, at least in the U.S. You must be wondering where the rest of this interview is. From here on out, many future Geopolitics and Empire podcast interviews will no longer be posted to the YouTube platform due to censorship. They are simply too hot to handle. However, you can easily find all the full-length podcast interviews on platforms that do not censor. For video, you can go to the Geopolitics and Empire channels over at Odyssey, Rumble, BitChute, or Brighteon. For audio, you can go to SoundCloud or wherever podcasts are found, such as Apple, Spotify, Google, or countless other podcast platforms. You can also bookmark geopoliticsandempire.com or subscribe to the newsletter to be reminded of every new podcast interview. I need your help in migrating away from Pentagon Tube, so please find Geopolitics and Empire on other platforms and subscribe there. See you on the other side.